Hello, everyone. My name is Mr. Zabron Ernest. I'm a teacher at Al-Muntazir Islamic Seminary, Girls Wing. Today, I'll be helping my Form 1 students, taking them through on how to answer their homeworks. We are going to go through homework number 1 and possibly homework number 2, and I'll be displaying the questions here. And then what you're going to do is just to sit down, grab your coffee or your juice or another drink and sit down, try to compare your answers and my answers. If you find that your answers do match with my answers, then you do mark accordingly. So here we go. This is homework number 1, which is coming from exercise 13.2, page 151, course book 7. And it was question number 2 from the textbook. The question says, on a coordinate grid, on this coordinate grid here, draw and label the lines x equal to 7 and y equal to -7. So what you're supposed to do is you take your pencil, your ruler, and then do the question according to the instructions. Okay, so try to locate where the lines x equal to 7 and y equal to -4 will pass. So the line x equal to 7. So I have to show where x equals to 7. So this is where x equal to 7. And then go ahead, drawing a line through that point. And that line will be passing through this point, vertically down. So that is your line x equal to 7. Okay? And then you go ahead labeling that line. You have to label this line, that this line is x equal to 7. So you label somewhere here that this is x equals 7. Okay? So you are done with that graph. X equal to 7, that's the line. All right, so then we do this line, y equal to -4. So you take your ruler and your pencil, draw that line, y equal to -4. So we put a mark. You have to label your line y equal to -4. So you put a point that this is your y equal to -4, and then take your ruler, draw a line through that point. So you have to draw a line through that point. Okay, so go ahead drawing that line, and the line will be looking like this. The line will be looking like this. And then go ahead labeling that line. You have to label this line as y equal to -4. So you write this line is y equals to -4. Okay. Right, so you are done. So far, so good. So we have x equal to 7, we have y equal to -4, and that is your required lines. Okay. Part B, write down the coordinates of the point where the lines cross. Okay. Where are these lines? Where are these two lines crossing? Those two lines are crossing somewhere here. They are crossing somewhere here. And then the question is saying, write down the coordinates. Write down the coordinates of the point where the lines cross. Okay, so put a mark where those lines cross and label the points. Okay. Now put a mark where the two lines meet. Those two lines meet there. Okay, those two lines meet there. And then write the coordinates. These coordinates will be the coordinates over here will be 7, -4, and then we're writing 7, -4, 7, -4, and as you all know that the coordinates should be in brackets. Okay, so you'll be writing the coordinates like so. 7, -4. This is where the lines cross each other. So you'll be writing there 7, Be writing 7 there, comma, -4. Okay, that is where the lines cross each other. Right, so you can check where if your answer corresponds with my answers and then mark accordingly. Okay, so far so good. So we have the question number 3 from the textbook, which says, on a coordinate grid on this graph paper here, draw the rectangle with corners at A, 2,7. So you have to locate 2,7, -6,7, -6,1, 2,1. You have to plot these points on a graph paper. Okay, so I've got my coordinate grid here where I'm going to show the points 2,7. So there we go. We have the coordinates 2,7. So this is 2, and that is 7. So the points will be here. This is 2,7, and that is your point A. So you label that. This is your point A. Okay. Right. So keep going. We have B, -6,7. So we have -6 here. We have 7 somewhere there. So put a dot to show that this is -6,7. And then you go ahead labeling that this point is point B. Okay. So far, so good. So we have that point over there. Then go ahead labeling or plotting the coordinates of point C. We have -6,1. We have -6 here, -1. So -6,1 would be a point somewhere. This is -6,1. And then you have to label that this is point C. You have to label that this is point C. That is your point C, and then you plot also at the last point D, which is 2,1. So 2 is here, 1. So that will be the point, and then go ahead labeling that point as point D. Okay, the question is, on a coordinate grid, draw the rectangle with corners. So I already have got the corners already. So what I'm gonna do is now to connect these corners to get a shape, and that shape should be a rectangle, the way out there talking about. Okay, so what I'm going to do is connect the corners or the vertices. So this corner will be connected, this corner will be connected to that corner, this corner will be connected to this corner over here, and lastly, this corner will be connected to that corner, and hence the shape, which looks to me as a rectangle, right? Right, so on a coordinate grid, draw the rectangle with the corners. So we are done with the rectangle. Then try to check if your answer is correct. Okay, so part B, write down the equation of the line through point B and C. Write down the equation of the line through point B and C. So what we're gonna do is try to take a ruler and draw a line that passes through point B and C. So let us try to draw that line. Let me change the color a little bit and put it, make it a little bit blue. So write down the equation of the line through B and C. Okay, so we're gonna draw a line. We're gonna write down the equation of the line through B and C. So what you have to do over here is to draw a line through point B and C. Draw a line like so. Can you see that? This is the line which is passing through point B and C. Now the question is, write down the equation of that line. Okay, so the equation is, you have to check that this line is going through only one value of x, which is -6. So the equation will be x equals to -6. So the equation will be x equals to -6, and you can either label it here that line has the equation x equals to -6. So you do like that. Okay. That is the equation. So x equals to -6 is the equation. And then go ahead putting it over here, that the equation is x equals to -6. Okay, so that's the equation of a line that goes through point B and C, and hence done. But C, write down the equation of the line through A and B. So you need to draw a line that goes through A and B. So let us try to draw that line in a different color. Okay, so there we go. Write down the equation of the line through A and B. So we have A here and we have B there. So we're going to draw a line that goes through point A and B. Okay, so then we are supposed to write down the equation. Write down the equation of the line that goes through A and B. So the equation of this line depends on this number of y that has been cut through. So the equation will be y equals to 7. See that? That's the equation, y equal to 7, and hence done, right? And here, write down the equation that goes through A and B. So you can go ahead writing here that the equation will be y equals 7. Okay, so those are the answers. You can write them there. We can push them underneath the question like so. Push them underneath the question like so, to show that these are the answers you got for B and C respectively. Right, so part D, the rectangle has 2 lines of symmetry. The rectangle has 2 lines of symmetry. Write down the equation of each of them. Possibly I should start explaining what does a line of symmetry mean. We say a line of symmetry is a line that cuts the shape into 2 equal halves. So we say a line of symmetry, that's the definition. A line of symmetry divides a shape into 2 halves. Okay, so this is what a line of symmetry means. So a line of symmetry divides a shape. A line of symmetry divides a shape into 2 halves. Okay, now we have a triangle here. Sorry, we have a rectangle here. Let me try to highlight that that rectangle. So let me try to highlight that rectangle. So we have a rectangle over here. Okay, so we have a rectangle over here. So let me try to highlight that rectangle. This is the rectangle which I'm talking about. See that? This is a rectangle which I'm talking about. Now we are supposed to find, what we are supposed to do is to find where the lines of symmetry lies. Where are the lines of symmetry? Okay, we have to find where are the lines of symmetry. Okay. Now, the question says the rectangle has 2 lines of symmetry. Write down the equation of each of them. Let me try to show you the first line of symmetry of this rectangle. Okay, so I'm gonna count the boxes. What I'm going to do is count the boxes. These boxes will be counted horizontally and vertically. Let me start counting horizontally. We have, from here, we have how many boxes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need to take 8 divided by 2, we get 4 boxes. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So our first line our first line of symmetry will be going like that. Okay, our first line of symmetry will be going like this. Okay, this is our first line of symmetry. Okay, now let me prove that this is a line of symmetry. The line of symmetry has to cut this shape into two halves. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes on this side, and also we have 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes on the other side. So my line of symmetry is correct. Now the question is, what is the equation? What is the equation of this line of symmetry? The equation will be depend on this number that the line is cutting, but this number through the lines goes. This number belongs to x-axis. So the equation will be x equals to -2. So the equation over here will be x equals to -2. So that's the equation. Okay. So the equation of the line of symmetry will be x equal to -2. And go ahead, fill in here. The rectangle has two lines of symmetry. Write down the equation of each of them. So the first line, I got it, is x equals to -2. Okay. And how about another line of symmetry? Let's try to check another line of symmetry. So I go back here, but this time I have to divide this rectangle horizontally, not vertically. So what I do, I take my ruler and try to check the possibility on how I can divide that rectangle into two halves. But this time I'm gonna do that. Horizontally. So horizontally, I have how many boxes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have got 6 boxes. So how do I do that? I'm gonna count 3 boxes because I have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. So I'm gonna have 1, 2, 3 boxes. And then I'm gonna draw my line. I'm gonna draw my line of symmetry. But this color is not looking good to me. Let me try to change the color. Let us try to make, yes, so blue color will be looking nice. So we have 1, 2, 3. So the line of symmetry will be this line here, okay? And can you see that that line of symmetry now is going through the value of y, which equals to 4. And that becomes my question. So my question here of this line of symmetry would be y equals to 4. Simple like that. How do you convince yourself that your line of symmetry is correct? It's just it's just you to count the number of boxes above the line and below the line. So above the line we have 1, 2, 3 boxes, and below the line we have 1, 2, 3 boxes. So hence this becomes my line of symmetry. So my other line of symmetry will be y equals to 4. That is my other line of symmetry. So I have 2 lines of symmetry, one being x is -2, another one being y equal to 4. Okay. So far so good. And then we have another question here from the textbook, which says, a rhombus has vertices. When I say vertices, I mean corners. So a rhombus has vertices. So the word vertices means corners. So in other words, we can say a rhombus has corners at the points -2, 8, 1,2, -2, -4, -5,2. Draw the rhombus, okay? So go ahead plotting those points. Go ahead plotting those points as simple as you can. So here we go. We have -2, 8. So we have -2, 8. So that point lies there. And we have -2, 8. We have 1, 2. We have 1, 2 somewhere there. This is 1, 2. And then we have -2, -4. We have -2. We have -2. This is -2, -4. So -2, -4 will be somewhere there. And then we have -5, 2, -5, 2 somewhere here. Okay, there we go. Now, what is the question? The question is a rhombus has vertices at the points -2, 8, -2, -2, 1, 2, -2, -2, -4, -5, 2, -5, 2. Now draw the rhombus. So you go ahead, take your pencil and your ruler, connect those 4 corners or connect those 4 vertices, connect them. Okay, so I'm gonna connect them as follows. Take this corner, connect to this corner, take that corner, connect here, then take this corner, connect somewhere here, and then take this corner, connect somewhere there. See? Now that forms a shape that we call a rhombus, right? So now let us see the next other question. The next other questions are after drawing the rhombus, then what are we supposed to do? The rhombus has 2 lines of symmetry. Oh, wow. I said lines of symmetry. Let me try to remind you. A line of symmetry is the line that divides a shape into 2 halves. See that? That is what we call a line of symmetry. So how do we show the lines of symmetry? How do we show the lines of symmetry on the rhombus? Okay, so you can try to check how beautifully you can cut this shape into 2 equal halves. Let me start vertically. Vertically, I have to check how many boxes I have. I have to count them vertically yes, I have to count the number of boxes which I have if I want to cut this rhombus into 2 equal halves. So let me check the boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 boxes. So I need to have 3 on this side and 3 on the other side. So 1, 2, 3. So my first line of symmetry, let me try to go with dotted lines. So my first line of symmetry will be going that way. See that? Let me check. 1, 2, 3 on this side. 1, 2, 3 boxes on the other side. So that is my first line of symmetry. And you can see that this line of symmetry, the dotted line which I've drawn, is going through one single number, and that is -2. But this -2 belongs to x-axis. So I'm gonna go ahead writing the equation, which is x equals to -2. That is my equation. That is the equation of the line. Okay, how about another line of symmetry? Can I have another line of symmetry? Yes. Another line of symmetry is when you do it horizontally. Okay, is when you do it horizontally, and this is very easy to predict how that line of symmetry will be going through. Okay, let me try to draw another line of symmetry, and this will be going horizontally like this. Can you see that? That is another line of symmetry. That is another line of symmetry. Okay, now let me check if this truly is a line of symmetry. Let me check, counting the boxes going up. and go counting the boxes below the line. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes. Going down, we have from the line, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes. Hence, this becomes my line of symmetry. So a line of symmetry is any line that cuts the shape into 2 equal halves. So that is my another line of symmetry. So we have the question will be why. Why do you think I'm using y? Because this line of symmetry is cutting only one value of y, and that is 2. So y equals to 2. That is my another line of symmetry. That is another equation of the line of symmetry. So the Rhombus has 2 lines of symmetry. Write down the equations of these lines. Okay. The first one was x equals to -2. The first line of symmetry was x equals to -2. And another one was y equals to +2. There we go. Y equals to +2. Okay. So you can pause this video and try to go through your answers and mark them accordingly. Right? So these are the answers. These are quick answers which I have tried to go through, and let us continue to, I guess, homework number 2. I guess that will be homework number 2. All right, so there we go. So is this homework number 2 now? This is a continuation of homework number 1. And this homework number 1 came from page 134, course book 7, and it was exercise 13.3. Okay, so the question was, draw the graph of x plus y equals to 6 with values from x, with the values of x from -2 to 7. So what we're supposed to do here, we need to complete a table value. We need to complete a table value, and this is the table value which I'm talking about. This is the table value which I'm talking about. But this table value has to start with the value of x from -2 to 7. So you're going to have a table value like this. This table value will need the value of x that will begin from -2 to 7. So you have -2 here, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's like you're using the concept of a number line. Now, how about the value of y? The value of y you need to calculate. The value of y, you need to calculate the values of y. How do we calculate the value of y? I'm going to show you like two values of y on how I found them. But the remaining other points or the remaining other values of y we'll be doing together mentally. Okay. So here we go. We have the equation x plus y equals to 6. So type your equation over here. You have x plus y that equals 6. Okay, that is the equation. That's the equation which you are given, and we're going to use this equation to complete this table value. Okay, now how do we do that? Just see what I'm going to do. I have the value of x already here. X is -2. Now I have to look for what is the value of y. So what I mean here is just go ahead substituting the values of x into the given equation. What I mean here is x is -2. So you take your -2, put it here. Take your -2, substitute it in this equation. Okay, now this becomes, if you do that, that becomes, instead of writing x there, you're going to write -2. See that? Then plus y, because I'm looking for the value of y. Then plus y. See that? That equals to 6. That equals to 6. Now, how do we find the value of y? How do we find the value of y from this simple equation? You need to transfer -2. You need to transfer this -2 here transfer this -2 here to the right-hand side. Can you see that? Transfer this -2, transfer this -2 to the right-hand side because you are looking for the value of y, okay? Then when you do that, when you transfer -2 to the other side, you're gonna have y equals 2. You're gonna have y equals to 6, okay? But remember, when -2 goes on the other side, it becomes, if it was negative, it becomes positive. So since this is negative, when it goes there on the other side, it becomes positive. So you're gonna add, with 2. You see that? So that becomes y equals to 8. That becomes y equals to 8. So there we go. Now, where do we write this answer y equal to 8? You just write simply here, y is 8. So you write it there. So now you can go ahead and try when x is -1, what is the value of y? But I cannot do it mentally. When x is -1, so I will be putting -1 here and shift it on the other side. So my y will be equal to 7. So you can go ahead and do the working like how I have done here, and then go ahead getting the answers. And the exercise looks pretty easy. Okay, so we have y is -1, then 7. Sorry, x is -1, put it here, y becomes 7. How about x is 0? When x is 0, will be 0 plus y, everything will be y equal to 6. So go ahead putting y 6 here. How about x is +1? Now that I need to do, because I have taught you when x is -2. Now this time x is +1, okay? So what are you going to do? So what you're going to do is something similar to what I've done. Something similar to what I've done here. So probably let me remove this so that you can avoid confusion. So put it somewhere there and perhaps hide this calculation, right? And then take out this and let us do when x is +1. So what I'm gonna do is copy my equation. You have to copy your equation, put it there. Put your equation there, x plus y equals 6, okay? Then this time your y, this time your x is 1. This time your x is 1. So what do? When x is 1, then you take this value, when x is 1, put it here. See that? Substitute x equal to 1 here. And then proceed with the calculations. So what you're gonna do is substitute the value of x as +1, and then go ahead adding it to y. So plus y, that equals to 6, okay? So guess what? When you reach here, when you reach in this step, you're gonna need to transfer this +1, transfer it to the right-hand side. See that? Take this +1. Now this number here is +1. This number here is +1. Now how do we transfer this +1? How do we transfer that +1 on the other side? How do we do that? This is +1. When you transfer +1 to the other side, the positive changes sign and it becomes negative. See that? So that will be, this will be, that will be y equals 2. This will be y equals to 6. Then minus 1. See that? Because +1 is getting shifted to the other side. So it becomes y equals to 6 minus 1. And go ahead calculating that. This becomes y equals to 6 minus 1, which is 5. So here you'll be writing 5. See that? Right. So far, so good. Now, when x is 2, do the same process here. When x is 2, do the same process, transfer the positive 2 on the other side, so that it will be 6 minus 4. So here you write 6 minus 2, that will be 4. Here will be 3. And here will be 2. And here will be 6 minus 5 will be 1. And 6 minus 6 will be 0. So you can do the calculation and try to check what I'm doing here. So this will be 6 minus 7. That will be -1. Okay. So I hope you got a table like this. Now what we're gonna do is to draw the graph. A graph is a straight line which usually is drawn on the coordinate grid, So let us try to hide everything so that you can avoid it to get confused. Okay, so there we go. We need now to get our graph paper like this. This is a graph paper. Go ahead plotting the coordinates. Okay, so we have -2, 8. The value of x is -2 and the value of y is 8. What does it mean? I'm going to show you what it means there. So you take your pencil and then start plotting the points. Okay, so we have -2, 8. So this will be -2, 8. So you do like this. This is -2, which is the value of y, and that is 8. So we're going to have -2, 8. So it will be a point somewhere there. This is -2, 8. And this is -1, 7. -1, so it will be somewhere there. -1, 7. Now 0,6. A lot of students get confused over here. 0,6. So we need to cross out the 0 and you remain with only y equal to 6. So y equal to 6 is somewhere here. This is where y equal to 6. Okay. How about 1,5? This is 1, the value of x is 1, and the value of y is 5. So how do we plot it here? So we have, this is considered as 1,5. So we have 1,5 somewhere there. 1,5, and then we have 2,4. 2,4 is somewhere there. See how easy it is. And then you have 3,3. So 3,3 is somewhere here. Then we have 4,2. 4,2 is somewhere there. Then we have 5,1. 5,1 is somewhere here. And then we have 6,0. So 6,0, this 0 cancel this 0. And then you have only x is 6. So x is 6 somewhere here. This is where x is 6. And then you have 7, -1. This is 7, -1. This is 7, that is -1. So you put a dot somewhere. This is 7, -1. Now, the question is draw the graph. How do we draw a graph? You take your ruler and connect. Take your ruler and connect those points. Okay, let me look for, yes, if I got the ruler somewhere here. So I'm taking my ruler, bring it down there, so that now I can connect those points and get a straight line. And the straight line which we get is what we call a graph. So I'm going to take my ruler somewhere here. Let me extend my ruler so that you can be able to see. This is my ruler. Put your ruler somewhere there, turn it like so, put it here, and draw a straight line. And such a straight line is the one which we call it a graph. So there we go. Adjust your ruler so that it remains on the points. So adjust your ruler until you get a wonderful straight line. Okay, so you see that? This is my ruler. Put on my points so that I can get a straight line, and that straight line is the one which we call a graph. Okay, so take your pencil, and then connect those points. Can you see me there? Okay, so you have to take your ruler and connect these points, but using a pencil, like so, okay? Right? So my line looks very huge. Let me try to adjust this line so that it can look a smooth line. Should be looking as smooth as that. See, that is my line, all right? And basically, we prefer putting arrows on at the end of that line. We prefer putting arrows at the end of that line, okay? Let's try to do that. Okay, so let's try to pick and draw arrows on both sides. So there we go. Okay, and just draw your line like this. Okay, and this is what we call a straight line. Now that straight line is what we call the graph. You see that? And go ahead labeling that. How do we label this graph? We label this graph by using the equation given. So how do we label that? We put your equation, x plus y equal to 6. So label that this is x plus y equals to 6. So we write x plus y equals 6, okay? And go ahead labeling like this. Make sure that it is along. This should be along the line I've drawn, okay? So label like that, and that we go, okay? So adjust this. After you have drawn your line, after you have drawn your graph, you have to label your graph by using the equation given, okay? So that is done. X plus y equal to 6 is a line that goes through those points. So on the same axis, on the same graph paper, draw the graph of y equal to 2. Draw the graph of y equals to 2. Draw the graph of y equals to 2. So you'll come back here on the same graph paper and show where is y equal to 2. Y equals to 2 is at this point, and then go ahead drawing a line that goes through this point. Go ahead drawing a line. You just set your rule like this, and then you draw your line, and then you draw your line through that point. You draw your line through that point. See that? So far, so good. So take out your ruler. Okay. So we have drawn a line. We have drawn the graph of y equal to 2. And remember, a graph simply means a straight line. A graph simply means a straight line. So this is a graph of y equal to 2. Like as I said, you have to label that this is y equals to 2. Okay, you have to do labeling alongside the line. Okay, so that is your line. Now, where do the two lines cross? Where do the two lines cross? Those two lines cross somewhere here. Let me try to use a different color so that you people can see the point where the two lines meet. So this is the first line, which goes like this, and this is the other line, which goes like that. Now, where do the two lines cross each other? So the two lines cross each other at that point, okay? Now, what is the question? The question is, where do the two lines cross? Here we need to write coordinates. Here you write the coordinates. You need to write the coordinates, and the coordinates should show the value of x and the value of y, and both the values should be separated by the comma, and ensure that you're putting the brackets. Now write the coordinates. Okay, how do we write the coordinates at the point of intersection of the two lines? So we go back here. This is where the two lines meet. So at this point where the two lines cross each other, record what is the value of x. This is the value of x where the two lines cross each other. So I'm going to try to show you. Okay, so Or I try to show you that this is the line. This is the point. Can you see this? This is where this is the value of x. That is the value of x where the two lines cross each other. So you're going to write here that the value of x is 4. The value of x is 4. And go ahead checking what is the value of y at that point. So the value of y is going to be 2. Can you see the value of y there? So go ahead writing here. The value of y is 2. So where do the two lines cross each other? The two lines cross at 4, 2. So you can say here that the two lines cross at 4, 2. So here you say, where do the two lines meet? The two lines cross at 4, 2. And you are done. As simple as that. All right. So this is your homework number 1. As you can see, I'm on homework number 2. Right? I'm on homework number 2. And there we go. Let us see this homework if it needs a lot of time. Okay. All right. Should I continue with this, complete this table? Nope. Let me stop here, take some rest. I'll be back for homework number 2. All right. Bye-bye for now. See you soon. Bye.